This time we're gonna do a blend of rye. I got 3 wild card bottles at the end to make it just a little more special. Okay, here we go. I just blended all these rye whiskeys into one glass and we're gonna see what happens. Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Unbound. So last time we did a blend of wheat, turned out to be phenomenal. This time we're gonna do a blend of rye. I got 3 wild card bottles at the end to make it just a little more special. Okay, so these are all going to be 95.5 or higher. Again, with the exception of those 3 wild card bottles, I was telling you at the end, it's gonna add a little bit. But first up, we got Whistle Pig 6 year. This is the piggyback. This is gonna be the much more easier to find shelf product. This is 100% rye. I like this one a lot because I like that 100% rye mash bill just in general. There's a few places that do it. It always gives a lot more of a chocolatey kind of feel, especially when it's malted. But yeah, this is a really great product. And this is much cheaper than all their other offerings. All right, next up, we got Old Bones 10-year rye whiskey. So this is gonna be from MGP. This is also going to be a 95.5. So I didn't want to add too many different rye mash bills. You know how rye can be kind of all over the place. You can have your barely legals, you got your kind of Maryland style ryes, which are more in the 70% range of rye, and then you have your 95.5s and 100s, and they all kind of have a specific kind of note, profile, kind of like wines from different regions, or things like that, or scotches from different regions. They all kind of carry their own profile. Next, Old Potrero. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know much about this brand at all. This was a gift. I do know it's 100% malted rye, and it is from California. I had it once, and I had it with a bunch of different ryes, which I thought would go well. It was so malted rye forward that it almost had like a raisin note to it. I wasn't getting a lot of the springtime spearmint, citrus, floral stuff I usually get on ryes. It's a very interesting one, to say the least. And again, we're doing 2 milliliters of all these just for real scientific purposes, and I can promise you they're not going to be exactly 2 milliliters. So next up, and we're going to do 2 of these. Got 2 different ones. We got Stellum Cask Strength Rye. So that's going to be a 95.5. That's going to be Barrel Bourbon's more flagship brands, and the next one is going to be Stellum Rye Black. So same thing as this, it's just a little bit older and it's gonna be more hand-selected barrels. 2 milliliters of that one. Okay, next up, they are Oregon Grain to Glass. It's a single barrel bottled and bond rye. And that's gonna be 100% rye. Oregon Spirit. I've had this once. I remember this being extremely fresh. Green mountain landscape, but cool and more like a spearminty note. Single barrel bottle and bond is a very rare, there's only one other one I can think of, and I'm sure there's more, but all right, next up we got Uncle Nearest Rye. Uncle Nearest Rye, so that's gonna be a 95.5. And I just broke the cork. That's wonderful. So this is a little pet peeve that I wanna go ahead and have with the whiskey industry, right? So I love this sound. I don't love this. So just make the synthetic corks. And honestly, if we're talking about practicality, we just need to be more screw top. I understand it's not super fancy, but this happens too much. Anyways, 95.5 Uncle Nearest Rye, 2 mils of that, janky top. Okay, here we go. See, look at this, Alberta Premium, plastic cap top, works every time, boom. Okay, so Alberta Premium. So this is where Whistle Pig was sourcing from before they started making their own stuff. This is 100% rye. This is Canadian, all right? Alberta, obviously. Okay, next up we have Taconic Distillery. Do not ask me a single question about this except for it's from New York. That's all I know. All right, it is 95.5, so that's why it's in this. I've had it once and it was not memorable, honestly. It was okay. It was what you expect from 9.55 rye. It was just all right. Wasn't great, wasn't bad, but let's see what it contributes to the blend. Okay, last but not least, this is going to be Nashville Barrel Company 8-year small batch rye. So this is going to be a blend of 95.5s. Now, usually when you say 95.5, you're talking MGP, right? Well, this was a Bardstown blend, and this turned out to be one of the best ryes I've ever had. I actually did a tasting with this, and it did really, really well. Did it in my Whiskey of the Month Club. Tobacco and dark chocolate and dried fruit. Okay, now, like I promised, we're gonna have a little twist at the end, okay? Like I said, these are all 95.5s or more, and they're all just, regular run-of-the-mill ryes. I wanted to add some double oak ryes to that, because double oak rye is one of my favorite categories. And I think double oak does better with rye than it does with bourbon, just in my opinion. I think they become much more exceptional drinks. These are 3 of my favorite double oak ryes. So First up is Sagamore, their double oak rye. Now, Sagamore used to source, but now they're doing their own stuff. What they do is they will use a 95.5 and a barely legal and then blend them together. So that produces the old the old Maryland rye mash bill, right? So when we come over as colonists, did I even put that in there? I didn't even put it in there. Next up, like I was talking about, Jack, twice barreled heritage rye. So this is going to be almost 3 years in the second barrel. Now, this is not every single time. So this was 2023. They actually dropped the time of that second barrel a little bit because people didn't receive it very well. They thought it was too dry, and it is dry. It's very char. It's very dark and oaky and char, but I like it. It's a phenomenal bottle, adding a lot of second barrel influence with that one. Last but not least, wildcard bottle, another double oaked rye. This is going to be Peerless double oaked. Now, this is not going to fit any of these. Now the Jack was a little bit different too. These are Maryland style ryes. This is what you call a barely legal. A lot of char, a lot of chocolate, a lot of winter fresh gum. Really, really good drink. I haven't had a single drink yet, I promise. All right, just to recap what we got. Peerless double oaked rye, Sagamore double oaked rye, Jack Daniel's double oaked rye. Then we got Nashville Barrel Company small batch 8-year, Taconic, Alberta Premium, Uncle Nearest with the janky cork, Oregon Spirit, Stellum, Cash Strength, regular and black, Old Potrero, and that's actually a store pick too. Old Bones, 10-year whiskey, that's MGP, Whistle Pig. Okay, so before we taste, a lot of people that are starting out tend to not like rye in the beginning. I was one of those people. I smelled and tasted rye and it tasted funky and like soured fermented grain. It was really, really weird to me. And then almost overnight, I began to like it, right? So that's why we did the wheat video first on the wheat blend, because wheats are really that more approachable beginner drink. Ryes are something that usually you develop over time, right? So rye is always going to be a much more floral, spicy, minty. I always get, especially on the 95.5 mash bills, I always get a citrus note. And almost overnight, I began to like rye. If you don't like rye yet, keep trying, give it time, okay? Your palate will develop, and you'll learn to find things that you do like. Now, there are a lot of things up here that I would recommend, but if you're getting into rye first, I would recommend what you call a barely legal. So that's what we were talking about with the Peerless Double Oaked. It's a lot sweeter, there's a lot more corn content, right? So just kind of keep exploring and tasting. Okay, here we go. Give a little SJ here, as my brother calls it, a little swirl job. There's a lot going on in that. Okay, I'm gonna need a couple seconds for this one. That might be one of the most complex drinks I've ever had. And again, these are mostly the same rye mash bill. Okay, so that fresh mint is there, but it's soft and sweet and charred, and there is a touch of orange in there. I'm really liking it on the nose. Let's go to the palate, see what this is. Okay, palate is oily orange. Very oily orange spice. That's higher proof. Cash strength, 100, cash strength. This is probably, it's probably 110-ish. And it's the first drink, so, my gosh. I am loving these blends. Guys, if you haven't done like your own infinity bottle or things like that, like try to keep it kind of similar at least on theme, but a little more char and kind of earthy tobacco coming through. Man, that is really good. Really, really, really good. A little more dark dried fruit coming through. So a couple of these have 100% rye or malted rye mash bills, and I tend to get that with those. And of course, I got some double oaks in there as well. Dark, burnt caramel. some woody notes. Dude, that's a great drink. And like I said, these are all really similar mash bills. So, you know, if you got a bunch of barely legal rye, I would try it with that. But really what this does is you just kind of fill in the blanks of what each whiskey may or may not have. I mean, I could bottle this and sell this for 150 bucks. I don't remember what I gave that wheat. I think it was either almost 80 or almost 90 or something like that. I'm gonna give this, I'll give this a 82. Let me know what y'all think about this and what you think about these videos. These have been really cool for me. I've been enjoying them, but yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. All right, everybody. So thanks again for tuning in to Brothers in Bourbon episode 2 yesterday. So this is for the giveaway for the free bottle of the Bee's Knees, the Bourbon Junkies Picks from a Short Barrel brand. Here we go. All right, George Washington duck coming out in front. There's a purple duck and I guess that's a Yoshi duck. I don't know what that is. Aaron Palmer coming through. Boom. For the win. All right. So Aaron, just comment on this video and I will reach out to you with your name and address and we'll get you set up, man. Thanks for watching, guys.